In this video, you learn about the process of bone growth through longitudinal and appositional growth. Longitudinal bone growth, also known as interstitial growth, occurs at the epiphyseal growth plates. Chondrocytes within the epiphyseal growth plates divide in a region here called the zone of proliferation. So mitosis is cell division that creates more chondrocytes, allowing the cartilage at the epiphyseal plate to grow. As these cells get further from the blood supply, the matrix starts to calcify, and the chondrocytes, they enlarge, and eventually they start to die. Then they leave space behind, and osteogenic cells can then migrate into that space, differentiate to form osteoblasts that secrete osteoid in the zone of ossification. So new bone is being formed down here at the end of the epiphyseal growth plate, closest to the diaphysis, known as the metaphysis. Whereas there's new cartilage being formed at the opposite side of the epiphyseal growth plate, closest to the epiphysis. Here we see the histology of an epiphyseal growth plate. In the zone of proliferation, the chondroblast cells divide, producing chondrocytes, allowing the cartilage of the epiphyseal growth plate to increase. And down here is the zone of ossification, where osteoblasts are replacing cartilage with osseous tissue. During puberty, sex hormones stimulate increased activity of osteoblasts. As the osteoblasts replace cartilage with osseous tissue, the epiphyseal growth plates become completely ossified, and this brings an end to longitudinal bone growth. The remnant of the epiphyseal plate that has now been completely ossified is known as an epiphyseal line. Here we see two x-rays showing the distal ends of the tibia and fibula. In a 12-year-old, we can see this light region is the cartilage at the epiphyseal growth plate. And in an adult, there is no epiphyseal growth plate. Instead, we see here just the epiphyseal lines. Achondroplasia is the most common form of dwarfism. This results from mutations that disrupt the growth of cartilage, impairing longitudinal bone growth. Appositional bone growth is the mechanism that increases the width of bones. This involves osteoblast cells producing new bone superficially, and osteoclast cells breaking down bone to expand the cavities deep within the bone. Bone growth is regulated by the endocrine system. The anterior pituitary gland secretes growth hormone to stimulate longitudinal and appositional bone growth. During childhood, deficiency of growth hormone results in pituitary dwarfism, where the overall proportions of the body are conserved. Growth is impaired, leading to an overall smaller size. In contrast, excessive growth hormone signaling during childhood leads to gigantism. While excessive growth hormone signaling during childhood causes gigantism, after the epiphyseal growth plates close, excessive growth hormone levels lead to a different disorder known as acromegaly. In acromegaly, the appositional bone growth mechanism is stimulated, leading to growth of the jaw, as we can see the spacing between the teeth is increased, and also the overall width and size of the hand here is increased because appositional bone growth is stimulated. However, the length of the bones is not increased because longitudinal bone growth requires the epiphyseal growth plates. During puberty, the sex hormones estrogen and testosterone stimulate an increased rate of ossification at the epiphyseal growth plates, replacing all of the cartilage with bone. Epiphyseal growth plate closes with the remnant of the epiphyseal growth plate called an epiphyseal line forged from compact bone.